Being a local boy, being a debater in high school, and knowing the Italian community, I was a prominent young man in the Italian community. I had a built-in clientele, so to speak. And I was called upon to resolve many problems. And one of the cases that brought me unusual prominence was the pig case. That's how we describe it. An elderly gentleman, little fellow, elderly, Italian man, I forget his last name, his first name was Charles, bought a bunch of pigs from an Anglo gentleman, and after he bought them, the pigs died one by one. And I brought suit. And of course, caveat emptor and all this legal stuff was brought in. And the case got unusual publicity. I don't know why, but I think the public was interested in it because of the nature of it in the community. The Dunkirk Observer had many articles. And my opponent was, I wrote his name down here. Let me see. How could I forget? Bob Palmer, who was a special county judge, very prominent lawyer, you know, Bob Palmer. Palmer and Rao was the firm over here. And here was this upstart young lawyer going into the courtroom and trying a case against Bob Palmer, the pig case. And of course, we won the case, and the publicity that resulted from that brought me many Anglo clients. And from there, my practice just zoomed. Yeah. I did a lot of trial work. I loved trial work. And we had a active practice. We never had to wait for clients. There were always clients in our office. Another interesting case that got a lot of publicity was the candy case. William Stoyle was a postmaster in Dunkirk. Mm-hmm. Been for years. Mm-hmm. Highly respected man. And the postal authorities had him arrested. And they charged him, among other minor things, with stealing a box of candy that was undeliverable, and so forth. And he was tried in federal court in Buffalo. Judge Knight, I think it was? Yeah, Judge Knight. Mm-hmm. Strict old guy, you know. He was a prosecution type judge. Anyway, when we went to the trial, it was St. Patrick's Day. And here comes my client, Bill Stoyle, with no green. So we were in the Statler. I said, where's he? He might have not have been a Catholic. So he might have not have been, celebrates St. Patrick's Day. Anyway, I marched him into the store at the Statler in the ground level and bought him a green tie. So we walked across to the federal building and we tried this case. The postal authority came up to me. He said, I hope you know we win 98% of our cases. And I said, I hope you know you're going to lose this case. You tried, to intimidate me. So we went in and tried that case, and we won it times down. I said, I forget the young the young attorney that tried it. Later became quite prominent in Buffalo. And oddly enough, the wife of, or the sister of Frank Sawyer, who was a lawyer in Fredonia, was on the jury. And later she said to me, you know, we've heard a lot of lawyers up here, but your presentation was, you know, there wasn't any question, you know, about it. So I was pleased that I could, and that case got a lot of publicity in the Courier Express in those days. Front page, big editorial, the Candy case, and of course down here. And that was an interesting case. They weren't but they were key cases that got, you know, key publicity. As far as my research indicates, you're the only lawyer in Chautauqua County who ever served as special district attorney 3 times. So I thought that was very nice. I was pleased that I was so honored, by the way. And when I met the lady that I go with now, I said, I want you to know that my good character has been certified not once, not twice, but 3 times. So that's so that's kind of a little. Let me tell you about Robert Jackson. When I went to Albany Law School, Robert Jackson was an abstraction, just like any sitting judge is now. When I went to Albany Law School, I learned very quickly that Robert Jackson was the preeminent alumni of the school. And I learned he didn't graduate from Albany Law, but he attended Albany Law. So he was the top man that they boasted about. And then subsequently, I learned that he practiced law in Chautauqua County, in particular Jamestown. So, well, he no longer was an abstract person. He was a person of intimacy. And I involved myself in learning about him. And of course, at that time, he was a preeminent legal man in the country. You know, everyone respected him, and he was outstanding. So it became, so I was anxious, when I came back, to talk to people who were his contemporaries and practiced law with him and rubbed elbows with him and had a beer with him and that sort of thing, the intimacy of that relationship, which is basic and, you know, an understanding the personnel of a man. Yes, I did attend the funeral. It was, what shall I say, the creme de creme of the legal profession of the whole country. All the judges and so forth. The eulogies were what you would expect, exemplary, and extolled his talents and so forth and so on. And then I think we were permitted to mingle among the high elite, and the one man that sticks out in my mind of the assemblage was William Douglas. Mm-hmm. Could sit down and talk to him, and he was a most regular guy, just as you and I would discuss. You'd hold him in awe, he just put you at ease, and he was the most popular justice there. Yeah. And it was quite a moving experience, So Robert Jackson has weaved in and out of my life, Albany Law School, Chautauqua County, and Nuremberg. So, but I didn't know him intimately. That was, at that time, he made infrequent visits to Chautauqua County, but it was interesting to talk to the old-timers who were his contemporaries and knew him on an intimate basis, as you have probably ascertained in interviewing them.
That's terrific. You're terrific.
Oh, is that I hope that's not on the thing.
Great, thank you.
And thank you.